Good rising, family. It's coming a little late. I said kind of rushing today. Some bad traffic. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Give everybody a chance to kind of get in here real quick. Just gonna do a quick live here. Just kind of have a chance for the family to kind of come together for a few minutes. Go over a couple of things, housekeeping stuff. But hopefully everyone's doing well. Everyone's reading, studying, getting closer to the Father. You know, Most High is sending the Holy Spirit to give us more knowledge and understanding right now. Shalom, family. Shalom, family. No sound. Can you guys hear it now? I don't know why. Seems like a lot of my stuff be starting with no sound for some reason. Videos. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Okay, beautiful. Good. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Try to, be a little more consistent with doing some of these lives in the morning and everything else. Grand Rising 12, good seeing you. Just got a couple things to kind of jump on here real quick to kind of talk about. I got a couple of comments and iron sharpens iron. Some people, don't agree with some of the information that's coming out and everything. And that's good and that's cool. As long as you disagree respectfully, I have no problem with people not agreeing and things like that. That's how Israel should be. If we don't agree, that's fine. I said you can have your opinion and I'll have mine, and you can make your points, I'll make mine. But it was from a video. We're going to go straight into it because we don't have a lot of time. It was from a video. Well, actually, you know what? Before I do that one, talk about that one. There was one, Brian Perro, something like that. He left a couple of comments a while ago. He left a comment about what was my opinion about baptism or something about that. And I mentioned him. I said, you're just trying to cause strife. And he made another comment last night or whatever else about how he was upset about my response and this and that, and how he's been trying to, he asked me 3 times about my opinion about baptism. And I'm like, bruh, I don't see all the comments all the time. Sometimes the comments get deleted. And he's I emailed you. I didn't receive an email from you. But see, I don't have a problem with you asking me. I don't have a problem with the way you ask me. Like I'm somehow beholden to answer you because, you seem to think that you can just, ask whatever you want, however you want. And I'm just obligated to respond to you. And I'm not, and I said that you're causing strife because I said, I know exactly why you're asking about baptism. And I said, if he says he's watched my videos for all these years, I said, in that case, you should already know my stance on baptism. Have you seen a video with me going against baptism or saying something negative about baptism? If you haven't seen it, then you should already know my stance. And see, I'm trying to move forward. There's other things that I am trying to study and bring to the nation. And I'm not going to waste my time get into arguments about things that have already been established. I'm not going to sit here, and the family does not want to waste time rehashing, the same things and get into arguments and everything else. I said, I'm not wasting my time with that. I said, we're moving forward. I said, the Most High is giving me more information to bring to the family, and I'm not going to sit here and get into arguments and about this doctrine and that doctrine and everything else. I said, because we're trying to move forward. We're trying to get, I'm thinking most of you guys here, we want the power. We want our information that's been hid from us. I says, I don't have time to waste on, how do you feel about baptism? Because I already know if I get into that, all of a sudden it's going to open up a whole can of worms into another thing that I'm not wasting my time on right now. I don't think anybody else wants to hear, us going over things that we've talked about many, many times. And that's why I said you're trying to cause strife, because you know exactly what you're doing. I said, you know my stance. I said, because if you've been here for any length of time, I don't have time. You already know my stance on baptism. Baptism is cool. It's great. You know what I'm saying? I said, that's fine. I said, but that doesn't mean that that's all there is. There's a lot of other things that we also need to concentrate on. For some brethren, that's cool. They can concentrate on that. I said, some other brethren, the Most High takes them somewhere else and do other things. I said, we're multifaceted. So it's not like we all need to be doing exactly the same thing. We're all different parts of the family. And I'm not wasting my time on that. Okay? So, and that's why I said you're causing strife. And then he came up with another comment. Brian Pedro came up with another comment in the middle of the night, and I happened to be up and just looking at it. And at the beginning it was like, I've asked you and this is that, but then he agreed with a lot of stuff I was saying. I was like, there's a certain way you talk to people. If you want things to, progress smoothly, you give respect. If you want people to respect you, you give respect to them. That's it. I said, I'm not going to waste my time. If someone's going to sit here and make accusations about me and say all these certain things about me that aren't true and aren't founded, you think I'm going to waste my time trying to go and prove them wrong? Nah, the Most High will take care of that. The Most High is going to take care of that. He's going to prove either myself wrong or the other people, wrong, whichever one it is. Ultimately, it's not our choice. It's the Most High's plan, and that's it. So like I said, I'm not going to waste my time with that, and I'm just letting the family know, okay? So nothing against Brian Pedro. I'm just responding to you this way, so you understand. Like, if you wanted me to respond to you, you should have came at me another way. You don't need to come. You're not going to come all aggressive and think that I'm going to be like, oh, I better hurry up and answer. Dude, that's not me. Okay, that's not how I am. If you had come to me like that, I'm probably just going to ignore you and just move on, because I don't have time for that. Okay. And the other, another brother, I think his name was Black Aura. It was from the video when I had used Brother Zion Lex's information, and about the Kabbalah, and how that was actually, when you go to the actual Hebrew, it was actually talking about that and being the teachings and things like that. Well, the brother actually, he came up with a lot of great points. He didn't agree with the Kabbalah and everything else, and he came up with some really good points and things like that. Talking about how the Most High communicates with us in dreams and stuff like that. I said, hey, he made a lot of good points. But it was like, what you have to understand at this point is this. Do you really think that the Gentiles are giving us back all of our information? Or do you think that maybe they're going to hide all that esoteric information? Forever they didn't get it. They didn't get their hands on any of this information. So if they didn't have their hands on the information and then they finally got it, and they finally got a chance to actually get a hold of the information, do you think that they're going to want us to figure out that it's ours? Of course not. They're not going to let us figure out that they don't want us to figure out that it's our information. So they're not going to write that information into the Bible. They're going to leave all that information out. And then many of these people seem to think that they got all the information in the scriptures. Like, he was actually referring to Daniel and how Daniel wasn't dealing with the Kabbalah and this, and that. I said, how do you know? I said, when you're talking about the book of Daniel, you're only talking about one specific point in his life. You don't know what he was doing as far as if he was getting trained in certain types of information earlier. You don't know if he got any secret teachings or esoteric teachings when he was younger. They don't put all that information in the Bible. I said, so we don't know. So to act like just because you read the Bible that you know everything about Daniel's life, or everything about David's life, or everything about Solomon's life. One point he made a great point. He was like, well, when Nebuchadnezzar had his dream, he called all of his astrologers and soothsayers and diviners, and they couldn't interpret his dream. But Daniel, just by asking the Most High, was able to get the breakdown of the dream and everything else. And so he's like, well, see, the Most High, just deals with us through dreams and gives us dreams. I said, okay. I said, that's cool. I said, but that doesn't mean that Daniel didn't have other knowledge or whatever else just because they didn't put it in the book, in the Bible. That he didn't get trained in those arts or whatever else at a younger point of his life. Or that the angels didn't come and give him some of this training and understanding. And really what all that is, if you think of it also, is the Bible has a lot of allegory. Has a lot of allegory in the Bible where you got to read into some of the things. Okay, that story that he brought up, You know, and the comments there, if you guys ever want to go and look at it yourselves, it's on if you go back to the movie about the video about Moses and the Kabbalah, go check it out for yourself. You know, I said I have no problem with people having different opinions and whatever else. I said just disagree respectfully. That's it. I'm learning just like everyone else is. I don't come up here and act like I know everything, and that if you don't agree with me, get the hell up out of here. That's not how I am. Okay. Now, what that did show was this. It shows that it proved what I actually brought out in the Kabbalah was actually true. Moses, actually, Adam had the information passed down to Enoch, and it passed down to Noah, and passed down to Moses, right? Well, and then when Abraham had it, some of that information went to the other nations, right? So therefore, they got some of our information. So they were dabbling in our, as you would say, magic. They were reading the stars as astrologers. They were diviners. They were doing certain things, right? So if they had this information, all this proved was the fact that yes, they had some of this information. They were dabbling in our arts, but they were not able to use it the way we could. Just because it says that Daniel got a dream doesn't mean that he was not versed in the Kabbalah. Maybe that means that he actually had the information as well. But the fact that when we actually are with our power, and we're actually following the ways of the Most High, that when we actually do certain things, we actually have the power. Why is that? Because we already know that the Most High is over us. The other nations have other spirits that lead them astray. But us, on the other hand, we actually have the Most High. So all that proved was, yeah, they have some of our information. They're not powerful with it. Our people have the same information, and the Most High actually works with us and proves us correct. Same thing with Joseph. He brought up about Egypt and how, the Pharaoh had a dream and that his people could not figure out the dream. But Joseph, who was our people, was given the blessing to be able to have the dream, to be able to get the interpretation. Does not prove anything. Does not prove, because he goes, oh, it didn't say that he used the Kabbalah or that, or this is that. I said, how do you know? How do you know that Jacob did not teach his children about the hidden arts? You're only getting a small snapshot of their lives in the Bible. That's it. You're not getting all of the information. You're not getting all of the understanding, because you're not getting all the 12 all the sons' lives. You're not getting all the information. You're only getting a snapshot of time. You don't think that Joseph was taught many things by his father. You don't think Jacob had some of this information. You don't think that our people were actually, if you go back to that video, and Brother Zion Lex was breaking things down, he said that exactly the priest hid the info exactly. Sister Helen right there. That Brother Zion Lex was talking about the Kabbalah, but he was talking about how they had prophet schools. They had schools for the prophets. So, and this information was not out and given to everyone. So how do you know that some of these prophets you're reading about in the Bible, like Daniel, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, that they didn't go to prophet schools? See, you don't know that. Did you know that Yahushua, I want to say it's in the book of Jared, he was actually being trained for his mission. I want to say also, if you guys can correct me, I think also John was actually in the book of Jared was actually being trained for his mission. It wasn't this in the Bible. They just show up and they are 30 years old and they just start just going out doing stuff. They don't talk about what they were doing in the early parts of their life to get ready for their mission. You see, so just because you can't just say, oh, well, in the Bible it doesn't say Kabbalah, so therefore they weren't using it. That's witchcraft. Yes, exactly. Paul was trained too. They all went to these they were all going to these schools. Yahushua was going through all this training before he actually started his mission, and I read about that in the book of Jared. You talk about the Egyptians having mystery schools. Well, where do you think they got that idea from? The Druids had mystery schools then. They were, I said, so there were these people that you're reading about in the Bible. They were getting trained. They didn't just show up all of a sudden and then bam, I said, so yes, sometimes we definitely got downloaded, but information. I know that I want to say Joseph had to learn like a bunch of languages before he could actually assume second in command under the Pharaoh, and an angel came and taught him all these languages like overnight. So like I said, so it's like Daniel's in charge of a mystery school. See, I mean, that's the thing, is as a nation, this is a beautiful thing. Many people have studied many things, so they're bringing all this information together. There are other books of Moses that are not in the Bible. Exactly, Ancient Gardener, 70 languages instantly. And see, this is a beautiful thing with Israel, is that we are not stuck with just having to talk about the same things over and over again. We have so much information that we can bring information together as a family, and then we get more understanding. I don't have to know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. There's so much information out there that there's no way that one person is going to get all of this information. But see, coming together, we start bringing out information, and all of a sudden, a sister here has a piece. 70 books. This right here. 70 language. Okay, we got this information right here. This is how we move. This is how we work together as a family. You see? And if people don't want to come, it's pretty funny, because I'm like, no one asked everybody to come. If we are told to move somewhere else and start to go into another direction, people are like, well, you need to prove this to me. I don't got to prove anything to you. If you don't want to come, it's really not your choice. That's one thing that I think is very funny, is that people seem to think that they have a choice as to where they're going to go and what they're going to do. Some people seem to think that, I'm the one that decided to get off the train, and I'm the one that decided to not do this, and I'm the one who decided not to do that. That's not true. The Most High decides for you. He says, no, this is your stop. This is where you get off. You're not coming with the rest of these people. You're going to stay right here. This is where you play. This is your playground. This is what's playground's for you. You stay right here. Exactly. He orders our steps. I said, we don't decide, you know what? You can't prove that to me. I'm not trying to prove anything to you. I'm not trying to bring you with me or force everyone. I said, if I'm told to go somewhere, that's where I'm going to go, because I don't have a choice. I do what the Father says. And if other people want to stay where they're at, then you don't have a choice. That's what people, that's what these churches have taught people, that they have a choice. You can decide to get this information, or you can decide to accept this. No, you can't. I said, if he says, Big Judah, you're going to start to get into these books right now. Yeah, I'm going to be getting into those books right now. If he says, okay, you brother, you're going to stay right here at this point right here, that's where you're going to stay. You don't have a choice. Just like with Gideon, he's getting ready to go to battle, and Most High says, you know what? Yeah, there's too many of you. There's way too many of you. I want the glory. So you know what I'm going to do? Hey, you guys, you don't want to be here, just go ahead and go on home. You know what? There's still too many of you. Whoever drinks the water this way, send them home. Okay. Now there's a few of you now. Okay. Exactly. I only need 300. I only need a few. I don't want people thinking it was you. I want you all to know it was me. And that's what the Most High is doing, even in this truth. I said, and that's how this works. So it's like, I have no problem, with people disagreeing respectfully and whatever else. I said, we're supposed to be a nation. We're supposed to be a family, right? And you're supposed to treat each other with brotherly love and respect. Now, once I see that we're not treating each other with brotherly love and respect anymore, I said, it's time for us to go separate ways. I said, because this is not working, because I said, we're not treating each other with brotherly love. I said, we have plenty of other people in the world that hate us and want to see us going at each other. That's what they've set up this entire thing for in the first place. It's always been about us fighting with each other and never realizing who your enemies are. See, they always portray themselves as the good people. I crack up with people talking about witchcraft, and it's witchcraft, and you're getting into witchcraft, and you're introducing Israel to witchcraft. I'm like, okay, hold on. So the churches who've taken all of our information and used it for themselves, that's not witchcraft? I said, they're the ones that are actually using all of our information against us. They're the ones using it. They're the ones in the movies that portray themselves as these godly people, and that anyone who goes against them is the devil. Just like I was looking about, angels and demons, and the Illuminati was coming after the Catholic Church. But then, you start to listen to the story. It's like, oh, hold on, the Catholic Church did this to them, and the Catholic Church killed these people and this people. Well, weren't they the evil ones? No, it wasn't them. The church is holy and good, and it's like the church is evil. The church has been evil. They're the ones that have been killing and destroying our people this entire time. And they're the ones that have taken our information and made it taboo for you even to look at it. They're the only ones that are saying all this information is witchcraft while they're using, but who's the ones that are using it against us? They are. So I'm not listening to anything that they have to say. I said, because, they've lied about absolutely everything. Just like they've set themselves up to be the primary sources with our information, and no one questions them. No one questions anything that they say. That's why I crack up with a lot of these people that want to act as if they're so tough and this and that. But all you do is follow Esau. All you do is follow his doctrine. All you do is follow his laws and the ways he set things up, and you won't think for yourselves. So I said, you can't have it both ways. You can't sit there and act all tough, and I said that's being fugazi. It'd be a fake tough guy, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that, but then you're gonna follow everything that Esau says. Esau's the one that told you that your books are evil. He's the one that said that. The Abominable Church has said that your books are evil, and that you can't have access to them. That's why they keep them in the Vatican archives, because they're evil and you can't see them. I said, no, they keep them from you because just like Daniel and the Nebuchadnezzar, all of them realized that, yeah, we can have the information, but the Israelites are the only ones that can actually interpret it. They're the only ones that can actually use it. Just like the Pharaoh realized, yeah, we can have the information. We got a little bit of it from Abraham, but the only ones that the Most High is really working with that can actually really tap into this power of the fullest are the Israelites. They're the ones that they can tap into it all the way, 100% with their power. So you know what, damn it? Yeah, we got some information, but we damn sure can't let them get it, because if they get it, it's game over, because they're the only ones that can tap into it all the way 100% with their power. That's why all of your information is evil, witchcraft. They get it. They share our information between themselves with these books and this information all day long. But for you, it's evil. For them, hey, it's cool. And as long as you got people to sit here and say certain things like, oh, it's a thin line between witchcraft and this and that. Yeah, the thin line is they have our books. They use it for evil. That's witchcraft. We want our books back. We're going to use it for the power of the Most High, for his glory. And that's what they don't want. And that's what they've been fighting this whole time. And that's what they still fight today. Like I said, still haven't heard anybody say anything about that's evil that I brought out in these books or in the last few videos. I said, you're making false equivalencies to Ouija boards and everything else. I said, I have not talked about using Ouija boards. So, like I said, false equivalencies, I said that stuff does not stop us from continuing. We're going to continue, and it's a beautiful thing that we have so many great people here who know so much, and we can bring all this information together. But brother, I'm going to have to stop it right now. I got to get some stuff situated, and then I will be back shortly with some more information, Most High willing. All praise is to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.